Hi there, I'm Sky Blue Carnegie and I'm thrilled to be talking to you today. So this video is specifically for adults who are wondering, what is ADHD? And ADHD, of course, same as for adults as it is for children, same thing. But by the time you're an adult, you probably recognize that it's impacting other things in your life, like relationships. And you maybe have got to the point where you think, man, I'm really screwed up. Whereas kids are just maybe hanging off the walls. So let's look at what society will define ADHD as. So ADHD, attention deficit disorder, sometimes with hyperactivity a lot of the time, sometimes without hyperactivity, but just a struggle to focus. So attention is like the struggle to focus, and the disorder is what society tells us we have. I say we because clearly I am very ADHD too. So along with that also comes anxiety, depression, hopelessness, a real feeling of not being known, not being understood, very often out of control. It's like, man, this stuff is just running my life. How can I ever get on top of it and have a good life? So all through my life, struggled tremendously with all of those things. And I needed a way out. So that's what I spent my lifetime doing. So, qualified as a psychotherapist in England, and then studied all the motivational people, the spiritual people. I went off to the mountains for 5 years, did all the studying. And I came to recognize that actually the neuroscience, the scientists, they'll tell you that it is a problem with the prefrontal cortex in the brain. It's diminished, they say. And I'm not arguing with that. If they ran my brain scan, probably it would be. But was I born with a brain disorder, or does my heightened sensitivity and awareness impact my brain just as trauma does? And if so, can I switch that up? And I believe we can. So I believe what ADHD really is overwhelm, a heightened sensitivity to so much of what is. So that's a sensitivity to emotion. And I'm sure you'll recognize this. When things are really good, they're really, really good. And when they're terrible, they're like, ooh, too bad. And of course, there's RSJ, rejection sensory dysphoria, that's recognized within ADHD. It's like, man, when this stuff is hard, it's hard. And so we have the emotions, and we are great lovers of life, great lovers of people. And when things and people hurt us, it hurts. And then, so that's the emotion part. Then there's senses. So a lot of us have sensory overload in a lot of different areas. Maybe we're aware of so many things that are going on all at once. And it could be actual physical senses like touch and smell and sight and sound and all of this stuff. So they're two things. But then we got one more thing that people aren't really noticing. And that's that we're brilliant. And we're innovators, and we're fun, and we're wonderful, and we're kind, and we're aware, and we have all these fabulous gifts and talents. So if I was to ask, is attention deficit disorder a disorder? Absolutely not. It's brilliance, it's heightened sensitivity, it's a phenomenal awareness to all that is. But of course, we initially, even without this brain stuff and the attention stuff, we see things differently. We feel things differently. It's just a different way of living. And so I've got some more videos about like, what are the solutions, and looking deeper into what the impact is on the brain, and also, you know, looking at the impact in our lives, in relationships and stuff. But for now, what is ADHD? I don't believe it is just a simple brain disorder or deficit that needs to be overcome with drugs, blah, 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 or solutions, because we all know that when stuff's thrown at us, it doesn't stick. Because the vital thing about ADHD is we need to be known. We need to be understood for who we truly are. And here we're all about getting to figure out your unique wonderful, your unique brilliance, as well as how can you specifically overcome the sensitivities and the struggles, because lifetime will have left you a bunch of struggles. How can we whoosh through them so you can live fully? How can we help with your heightened sensitivities? And how can we celebrate all of who you are? So I'm just thrilled to have you on board. I'm thrilled to give you this different way of seeing. I sure needed it, and it's taken me a lifetime to really, step in and put a framework around ADHD to help other people and to help myself, and to figure out a really cool toolkit so that we have solutions and we're able to live full, wonderful lives. Anyway, just want to give you huge love too, because I know that it's very lonely, lifelong struggle, and we're here as a tribe to support and to share and to grow, and for you not to feel alone anymore, for it to feel wonderful.